Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday Funday, and we weren't sure what to go watch. No, we'll watch Captain Marvel, the only movie that really came out this weekend.
Yeah.
Really, the only movie that's gonna be out next weekend. Pretty much the only movie that's really gonna be out for most of March. Yeah, Captain Marvel probably released in one of the best times it could have. It's gonna have no competition for at least a few weeks. And on top of everything, the only real competition that's coming up is going to be really. There's something on with Dumbo, another Disney film, but even then, I don't think they go in the same category.
No.
And then, of course, in terms of the same category, you have Shazam, but again, that's not till next month, literally. It's till April, which we're actually still looking forward to. Though, of course,
Please
we
be
do.
good.
And we do know, of course, it is originally, Captain Marvel was his name. But here we're to talk about the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel.
Was his name?
Megan has lost what little mind she never had. Oh,
Assuming I ever had one to begin with.
that's the reason why I worded it the way I did. So, while Megan giggles her face off, more than she already has, we're going to talk about our feelings on Captain Marvel, because there has been stupid controversy over stupidness surrounding this film for the past, month or so. And all of it stems from people like, how did dare Brie Larson say something against the fact that, there are a lot of male superheroes and there should be more inclusiveness with more female superheroes.
Yeah.
I get Brie Larson's point and everything, and maybe she could have worded it slightly better, but even then, she does have a point, guys. The dude says, like, yeah, I do get it. Like, the only issue I've really been having is these constant, oh, we're going to make this male superhero now female, like they did with Thor. Technically, Iron Man they did in a way, though they did with Iron Man a little bit differently. I don't mind having more female superheroes. No reason you need to make the original one different, unless you're really doing something fairly different like what I saw with Iron Man. That's all I'm going to say about the controversy, because other than that, I don't care. All the controversy I gave no shits about. But instead, we'd actually like to talk about the film, because that's what a lot of people are not talking about, and that is the movie in and of itself. It just kind of making me pine for the days of, when internet wasn't around, we didn't have as much controversy over this bullshit or that stupid bullshit.
When people weren't so sensitive.
Yeah. Everybody's being sensitive snowflakes on all sides. I'm using that term just to describe everyone. I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
If your feelings or your manhood is feeling threatened because of a woman, blow yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But to talk about Captain Marvel in and of itself, I am going to lead us off, because I will first off talk about my feelings about the actual character, Carol Danvers.
Guys, no.
And also, I think I'm a little bit more well versed in the comics than Megan. No offense.
Yeah. None taken.
Well, to talk about Carol Danvers, I think she was a really good hero after they fixed some of the glaring problems with her character. Not that drinking was a problem or anything like that. That's just, it's a character trope. It's a trait. That's some, things you can do with any characters. I do find it interesting that they did have one of the big people who brought up her drinking was Tony Stark. Who else to bring it up but,
Ain't the pot calling the kettle black.
Well, to be fair, he no longer is an alcoholic in the comics. And that was a thing. And now he could see, when somebody is one, because he knew where he was in that scenario.
In the movies, he may not be an alcoholic, but he likes his drink.
Oh, he's an alcoholic in the movies. He pretty much is. But also with Carol Danvers, I thought she got a lot better come near the Civil War storyline, which is weird to say, think that Civil War did anything good. I think it really became that she finally got good writers. They not only made her badass, but they also still made her vulnerable in her own ways. That was always something that pestered me whenever it came to Superman. Superman has very little vulnerabilities. And he's... It's the thing that a lot of writers don't give him. They give him very little human traits, which is a problem. It's like he was raised by humans. He's going to have human emotions, human reactions at times. It's something that a lot of writers just don't get Superman. I see Captain Marvel as much more interesting. Sure, she has her problems with, but mostly it always seems to deal with writers. As an actual character, when she's written well, she's fairly interesting, fairly cool. The movie, I will let y'all know, it focuses on pretty much an origin story. And for good and bad, it is a very good Marvel origin story. At least I believe so. What about you?
Yeah, for someone who's very ignorant of the comics, I concur.
Now, we're going to talk about some negatives. Warning, we might spoil some. Because there are certain parts, I think, that are a little bit negative, that are a bit spoilery. But just to let y'all know, I think we both do agree, this is a movie, if you're a little on the fence about, don't be, it's still a hell of a good time. You're still going to enjoy yourself throughout most of this film. So, about the negatives. And to be fair, I don't think any of them have, thankfully none of them have anything to do with Carol. Veers is also what she's known by for a good chunk of the film. Brie Larson's character. The title character.
Yeah, there's a reason for that explained, and that's what I actually figured.
Yeah, just to spoil a bit of it, though, if you know anything about the comics, you're like, okay, yeah, I kind of saw that coming. I was figuring that anyway, and I figured they were going to do a bit of a trope. And honestly, it's that the people who gave her powers are actually the bad guys. That's a bit of the massive spoiler for the movie, strange enough. It's not that it's bad. That's not a bad storyline. It's just it's a wholly unoriginal one. I think that's a big problem that constantly we were having with this film. It's not that any of this is bad. Brie Larson does great with what she's given. Jude Law does great with what he's given. Is it Mendel, or how do you say his name? Sorrento from Ready Player One.
I think his name is Ben Mendelsohn?
Yeah, Ben Mendelsohn. Couldn't remember his first name. I was only called Mendelsohn. I'm like, wait, no, that's his last name.
Sorrento from Ready Player One.
Yeah, Sorrento from Ready Player One. Sheriff of Nottingham. From the first three quarters of the Robin Hood abortion that came out last November.
That shit abortion.
That was a weird ass movie still.
Yeah, shitty Robin Hood. Like, that... I see what y'all are trying to do. You stumbled and fell.
They stumbled and fell off a cliff somehow.
Yeah, did it right out of the gate somehow.
But he does great with what he's given. Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, he does great with what he is given. Mm-hmm. Everybody does fantastic jobs. There's really great acting throughout this.
As you see in the trailer, Fury is a kitty lover. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, hi, little guy.
And Goose is probably the most adorable damn thing that's been around for a while. Mm-hmm. And just shenanigans, I will just say that much.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's actually a great thing to say. If, again, the negative is just that this is very formulaic. It's not a bad formula. Don't get me wrong. Just, you have seen this in other Marvel films. You have seen this in other movies, for lack of a better term. Carol is an amnesiac character who ends up being betrayed by the people who pretty much helped to make her her.
Yeah, she, through circumstances has to, return to Earth, and along the way finds out her identity, which you kind of...
figured that was going to happen in the trailers.
Yeah, from the trailers, yeah. It's like... And I think because of that, because it's something we have kind of seen before in a way.
Hell, we've seen this year with Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah. It just...
it's not as fresh as you'd want it to be.
I would say it's very predictable. I mean, not in a like, oh wait, let me guess, this is gonna happen. Yep, I called it.
You're like, this guy's gonna be a bad guy. Oh yeah, he's a bad guy. But it's like when I was like, at least he's an entertaining bad guy. And not only that, but there's still great action set pieces.
Yeah, this is still entertaining. Is some good action sequences. Carol Danvers is badass. There's lots of good humor, both from Carol and from Fury, and
they play together really well. Mm-hmm. Hell, they have young Phil Coulson, and he's fun in it. I'll just ruin that a little bit. To be fair, you'll see it in like first 20 minutes of the movie. Those who are surprised this movie takes place in the 90s, remember when Blockbuster closed, and remember that's in the trailer.
Yeah, she falls through
a Blockbuster.
A Blockbuster. And there's also a Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Feel old.
I was like, I'm old now.
Uh-huh.
The only way else there's Circuit City in the background there, being,
It's like, oh, God.
Circuit City sitting next to a Toys R Us.
Wow. It's like, yeah, I remember that. Oh my God, yeah, I remember that. Oh God, yeah, I remember that. I'm old. It's like,
And another thing I'm going to harp on this movie, and it's not because of how the writing is per se, but unfortunately, it's how Marvel's formula is, especially when it comes to origin stories. There is some action set piece moments. They're good looking, they're fun, everything. Exposition. Right into an action sequence, maybe a chase sequence or something like that. Exposition. It did that for about half the movie, and after a while I'm like, alright guys, I get where you're going. Can we just either have just a big massive exposition dump, or can we quit having action every 5 freaking seconds? I could almost see where they're like, alright, well we need to stop this part and go to this part for just a bit. It's like, oh, well, this is going to lead to an action set piece. Oh, well, look at it. It's not gone to the point to where it's completely, utterly stale. But it's starting to kind of show its outline. Like, you can see the outline seem pretty clear. It's like, I might need to do just a little bit tweaking here and there. Again, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, just a little formulaic. And the more we've kind of been talking about, I think it's more one of our issues were Black Panther. Like, people really praise Black Panther and all this. I get it's a good movie, bordering on great. Unfortunately, people really want to think, oh, Killmonger's the best villain. No, Killmonger was not a very good villain. He was a really forgettable villain.
I would say he's not particularly compelling as a villain, especially when compared to, say, Thanos, Loki, Hela, TV just voicing his opinion,
or even the villain that was also in that, Claw, which Claw had no real motivations, but he was memorable. He was funny. He was psychotic.
He's outside his damn mind.
Yeah, and it was awesome. Because always seeing Gollum going, Gollum is the best thing ever.
I would say Gollum is
My precious. Oh, that voice hurt a lot. Oh. But yeah, like I said, that was part of the issue with Black Panther. Black Panther wore it a lot heavier, I think, than Captain Marvel, where that's the reason why I think Black Panther's a little bit held back. Even worse than Captain Marvel in certain regards.
Yeah, just so many familiar tropes in Black Panther. It's like, yeah, I've kind of seen this done before. I've kind of felt this storyline somewhere before.
You've seen it before. You had it done better in our stories.
Yeah, not that it was a terrible movie by any means. It's just wasn't as great as it could have been.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, however, I think somehow manages to pull it off a bit better.
I think it has to do with the fact that despite the fact that there is those very obvious tropes, And again, we're going to get into positive now. Again, that last half of the movie, I think, felt so much better. It felt so less like, for lack of a better term, cookie cutter. It sat down for a little bit. It's like, all right, here, we're going to have some character moments. We're going to just have the characters be characters. We're going to have them exist in their story. There is some interesting stuff with the lore that is given to us that is really damn good. Speaking of, because those who are wondering, yes, this does talk about the Kree Skull War. I cannot say those words together like that. And some of the stuff dealing with these scrolls is a welcome change. Just to leave it at that. Though they do still shapeshift, which is actually gives some funny bits here and there. Like at one point, one scroll turns into one thing, and Ben Mendelsohn's like, I already claimed that one.
It's like, this one's already taken.
It's funny because he's like in his female's body, and he's talking with Ben Mendelsohn's, but more like a half thing.
This body is taken. Yeah. Like this, like Asian chick's voice or body,
but it's his voice coming out. It sounds funny, and it's like, all right, that's really damn funny.
Kind of glaring, like, excuse you, I was wearing this suit, this human suit first.
You expect him Z-snap on it.
Pretty much.
Oh, actually, there's Z-snap. Sorry, that's probably horrible here.
Yeah, Sorrento, he's
fun.
There's a reason why he's cast as bad guys usually. He's so good at it. Like, he's so good at playing an asshole.
You want to punch him in the face so much, but you want to punch him in the face with a smile on. Just, sounds maniacal saying that way.
He's usually a fun villain, or at least, it's like, okay, sir, I'll give you that one. Kind of asshole.
Though I do like, again, what they kind of do with him. And, of course, like I said, the scrolls. There's so much interesting stuff they did with the scrolls. I was like, oh, that's a lot. Just to tell those who like the comic books, they changed some very important factors to make the Kree the Kree. I'll just put it that way. Those who know about the Kree, and especially their issues with the scrolls, and always those of us in comics like, hey, why? Who cares about either side? They're both stupid. They get into fights over petty squabbles. They're like Romeo, like the Montagues and Capulets, especially Romeo and Juliet. I'm like, wait, they didn't fight really.
Their families. I knew what you meant, like their families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like that. Their fights are stupid. In the comic books. This one has a lot more... It's the best way to describe it. More depth to it. And there's also more to explore, which I'm like... I'm waiting to see what they're going to do more with this.
And I just remembered. Yeah, Ronan.
Yeah, they have Lee Pace pop back up. It's like, oh, hi Ronan. How you been doing?
It's like, And,
Jamon Hansu. Sorry, I cannot pronounce your name very well, sir.
How the fuck do you pronounce this dude's name?
Yeah, because there's a D before that J. It's like, we're dumb Americans who can't pronounce that word.
Okay, Jamon, like,
Hansu.
I figure that's like, it's the...
Korath the, destroyer, or not destroyer, I think it's Korath the Corruptor or something like that. He's from Guardians of the Galaxy. First one, of course.
Yeah, the black dude with the weird eyes, who's also in, King Arthur Legend of the Sword, and so is
Push.
June Law.
He was also the bad guy in Push.
It's been ages since I've seen that, so I...
go see Push if you haven't seen Push. Push is fucking fantastic. One of the best films that's actually come out that's not a comic book movie, but really feels like it was made based on a comic book. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also Jude Law in this is actually... God, he's so punchable every time. He's charmingly punchable, maniacally punchable. You want to punch him every time he's on screen.
He's Jude Law. He's
fun with what he's been given here.
And he can play a hero like, you're so charming. I want to punch you. I want to punch you, but you're so...
You're the good guy, right?
But it's like, but you got a point, sir. Like, I kind of like you. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you can play a villain. Like, okay, I want to punch you because you're the bad guy. And you're so evil. But you're so charming. That's like, I almost don't want to. It just... he's somehow charming no matter what he does. I don't know how he does that. He's not a particularly charismatic actor.
I'd say that charming has charisma then. He pulls off charisma in a way that is not one you would think. Also, just to talk about other things that, like I said, the back half of this movie really got well in the character department. There is introduction to Photon. Those who are wondering about the other Captain Marvel that there was. Though there is no Marvel, which I personally have no problem with.
Well, actually, there was.
Not the real Marvel.
Well,
There's a mentioning of a character named Marvel, but it's not Marvel like you think.
This person's Kree name is Marvel.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, that's not Marvel.
It's like Marvel. Her name was Marvel.
It's like, that's stupid. Pretty much is how they call it. It's just like, that's dumb. Like, yeah, it's kind of dumb. My name is Captain Marvel. But yeah, with the introduction of some stuff dealing with Photon, and also her daughter, for lack of a better term, because I think they set it up that she might eventually take the air of Captain Marvel. Lay it down her. It's like, alright, that's cool.
Yeah.
Just to mention that. Again, if I'm not spoiling much, because those who are not watching the movie don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
And it's not just, I will say it's not just an origin story on Captain Marvel. It's a little bit an origin story of the Avengers Initiative and how Nick Fury
lost his eye. Or got...
I'm sorry, it's
At
so fun.
first I was really angry because it's kind of dumb. But after a while, whenever you hear what he told everybody, it's like,
oh, it's a tree. Like, I can neither confirm nor deny.
It's like, alright, damn it, that actually worked. It's very much, I think, it's going to be something more along, not quite fully Mandarin levels of, oh my god, that's the worst or the most brilliant thing ever. I think it veers a lot more towards that could be the worst thing ever, but it's really brilliant.
They somehow managed to pull it off.
Yeah, they did a lot better than they did with the Mandarin, I'll just put it that way. But, yeah, to talk about a little bit of Photon, I'll just call her that. Mm-hmm. It's fun finally seeing some character bits. And I think they're trying to go with the possibility that Carol Danvers is... One, they don't touch any bit on her sexuality, which is fine. It doesn't need to be brought up, but I think there might be a relationship she has. Because maybe they're just really close friends, but hey, you want to make her gay? Cool, I don't care. Carol Danvers, her sexuality was never an important factor with her.
Yeah, one thing I do like, they didn't really focus much on the relationship between the two, and the fact that
they're super close. Like, they just...
Yeah, it's like, they consider each other family. Because she wasn't really close with her parents, apparently. So it's like, okay, well, we're the only family she really has, and...
Yeah.
It's like, it was more just focusing on her learning where she came from and kind of getting back these memories.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Yeah, and I was fine with that.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Very good on you, movie. But like I said, I think that's where the movie began to break away from the, lack of a better term, Marvel mold. Where, it's action set piece, exposition, action set piece, and exposition.
I just realized, okay, not only is there not a love story, but Captain Marvel and Fury is it almost feels like a buddy cop movie.
I think it's supposed to be that way. Like, you have the one human cop, the one not Kree cop. What kind of hijinks they go get in?
Yeah, it was really, they played off each other in that kind of a buddy cop, kind of maybe make little comments.
Snide comments here and there at each other.
Yeah, but, for the most part, they got each other's backs, and...
Yeah, it very much was almost a lethal weapon in a way, in a good way. But like I said, the only real problems with the movie is just a little bit of the formulas they're using are starting to kind of show their age. It would be nice to kind of throw a little bit of spice in there.
Yeah.
Especially if y'all... Sorry.
I was going to say, I think that's what they were trying to do. Like, okay, let's kind of establish this, story, establish the ground rules here. And then, maybe start...
Spicing
I would
it
say
up.
once we've, got the base built up, then we can start throwing a few spices here and there, but don't get too crazy.
A little bit of tarragon, a little bit of basil.
Don't get too crazy, again you ruin the whole mix.
Yeah, that's the worst thing I can really say about Captain Marvel's. If you are kind of sick and tired of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's outline, I think the first half of the movie may drag a bit for you. Like I said, still got good action set pieces, still got great acting here and there.
Yeah, it did take a little bit of time to kind of get going a little bit.
Yeah. But if you, stick with it, you'll be more pleasantly surprised than anything. Now, if you are like us, where we're not completely just desensitized to the, whole outline, though we do recognize it for what it is.
Yeah.
We're still more willing. I think you're going to have a fantastic time. You're going to enjoy yourself in theaters. Hell, if you like action films, you want to see a kick-ass superheroine, just do what she does. And that's just completely pwn all the noobs. I think you're going to enjoy the hell out of this. If you like action movies, you like space operas, in lack of a better term, I think you'll enjoy the hell out of it. There's nothing egregiously bad about this. And in fact, there's a lot that's really, really good. There's just wrinkles that I think hold it back just enough.
Yeah.
That I think this is it's better than the Black Panther, but it's not in like the upper echelon of Marvel films.
Yeah. Like, when comparing it to the other Avengers films, especially just, Avengers Age of Ultron, and Avengers Infinity War, it was good. It just really can't hold a candle to those movies.
Well, I would say even compared to other origin stories. Like if you think Ant-Man, Thor, Doctor Strange, Captain America, Incredible Hulk, I'm running through them in my head right now. Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther. I feel like I'm missing one, and I know I'm going to get lambasted in the comments. Realistically, this is very good. I could probably say great, but it's not the greatest ever. It's not the most mind-blowing film, but it's really, really damn good. Whenever it finally starts firing on all cylinders and it's allowed to start flexing its wings, it just takes you for a hell of a ride. And I am curious to what they're going to do, not just with Infinity War, but also with the rest of Captain Marvel. Especially since they set it up that there's going to be a bit of a confrontation between her and Ronan. Hey, Ronan also gets more than like 12 lines in this, I think. Just to give it away. If people are like, oh, well, that's spoilers. Like, Ronan was alive in Guardians of the Galaxy. We know there's something going on.
Yeah, obviously this takes place before any of that, except for Captain America First Avenger.
Yeah.
It's like Captain America First Avenger, Captain Marvel, and then everything else came after.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, pretty much you got Captain America, Captain Marvel, then you got Iron Man. It leaped forward a few years. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah, so some of the stuff really, it's like, oh my god, they're alive. It's like, it's a prequel.
Yeah, just to comment a little bit about the audience. We had, strange enough, a kind of subdued audience for the most part. Except for one mega super nerd who I think he watches every Marvel thing and just beats off. Dear God, he was jizzing himself on everything. Oh, Phil Coulson's still alive. Dude, it takes place in the 90s.
Or during the end credits, like, watch this guy. Hammond's like, oh yeah, there's one. Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully he did eventually say, oh, I'm sorry for being loud. It's one that's like,
he's like, yeah, sorry, my bad. Like,
I get being a fan, man.
It don't make that apology don't make up for it.
It's one that's just want to say, Set your trap. Oh, but that's neither here nor there. So, about Captain Marvel, what would you give this in terms of a score?
Yeah, something I've kind of been grappling with, I've been thinking like either an 8 or a 9. I'm not sure if it's. I mean, something is kind of holding me back from giving it a perfect 10.
I think it's the formula that you
Like we're talking about, like it has the flaws. The formula, like we mentioned, a little slow start,
and also some of the sameness that you've seen, not just from other Marvel films, but other films in general.
Yeah, it's like they are tropes for a reason.
Yeah.
Some familiar elements I made like a little too predictable. I was like, yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen.
Yeah, like I kind of saw it happen.
Yeah, I mean, not entirely in a like, oh gee, I'm just so bored kind of way, but just like, it just didn't make me as enthusiastic as I should have.
Yeah.
But I know, the more we're talking about the awesomeness of it, I mean, it's got great action, great humor. Carol is a badass.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to focus on her and her origin story rather than having to throw any love story, lesbian or otherwise. And there's like, just focus on her and her background. Like,
there's just a lot of relationships she's having to build back, especially with...
yeah, like with a mentor and her best friend. And
also somebody she kind of works with in a way. Nick Fury. You know, the buddy cop thing. That was actually pretty hilarious, if I can say it. I was just going to with. I can't talk.
But yeah, the more we're talking about how awesome it is, like, I don't know, I'm now kind of leaning towards a 9. Whereas before I was like, yes, like kind of leaning towards an 8, like, yeah, I'm not sure if it deserves a 9. Yeah, no, I gotta give it a 9.
I give this a 9 as well. It's not the best movie. Sure, a 9 seems like a really, really high score, but this is an infinitely rewatchable film. I think.
Yes.
What if we were to rewatch this again? Still gonna very much enjoy the hell out of it.
Let's go see it next weekend instead of
Captive State.
Captive State.
No, we gotta put something new on. Can't put up another review of Captain Marvel. Captive State's probably just gonna be boring. Same guy who did the Planet of the Apes films, and all 3 of them went from not really good, kind of dull. Holy shit! What the hell is even happening? Because it's like, oh, cool. This movie took about 20 hours just to start. Thanks, movie. I didn't have anywhere to be. Sorry. Fuck the Planet of the Apes movies. They have
I sense a nap coming on.
Yeah, probably.
A very expensive nap.
It's about a $20 nap. But yeah,
Reminder Weezer from So Many Noise. I do not see plays because I nap at home for free.
but yeah, go see this. If you have been a little bit on the fence about anything, don't be. Like I said, even our negatives, like, it's not a big negative. Like, oh, it's a little formulaic here and there. Trust me, there are much worse films that are more formulaic. Hell, like, we loved Blockers, even though some of it technically is almost formulaic. But if you're able to do it really, really well, you can disguise those lines, so it blurs a lot more. I think this one had a little bit of problems with doing it 100%, but I think, like I said, that last half it's like, Nirvana, character, great action, it's almost surprising story, except for one bit that I guessed from the beginning trailer. I was like, I'm gonna guess this is happening. Yep. Except for there was actually still a few things I was like, oh, I did not see that happening. That I'm not going to give away.
Yeah, a couple little twists, like, they did surprise me.
Especially when it made us laugh really hard. Oh.
Yeah, that one made me laugh really hard. The other one, yeah, in retrospect, like, I kind of did, like, feel it coming. But then I was like, I'm still kind of surprised by it. So. Yeah, I think its flaws,
they're greatly overshadowed by all of what it does good.
I would say it does. You know, they do drag down the rating just a little bit, but not to sink it to the bottom completely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It's, to me, those who felt a little, for lack of a better term, bored almost with Black Panther at times. I think the first half of this movie might drag you down a little bit, but I think the last half is going to help rejuvenate you and also give you more hope in the Marvel solo films, for lack of a better way to describe it. Because, and also, if you get similar trailers like us, you got a Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, because there's nothing better than a Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. But we didn't get an Endgame trailer. Why? Hype up your big movie, Marvel. I know I'm hyped already, but still, it comes out in a month.
I was like, I need to know how this ends.
Taylor just says, screw it, just everybody dies. Her soul just bawling.
I was like, I need to know how Tony Stark saves the day.
Hey, you mean how he dies?
Shush.
Or Captain America dies?
Shush.
I love them both. It's going to be sad to see either one of them pass away.
Spider-Man about broke my heart, though.
No, Spider-Man didn't break your heart. He grabbed your heart and stepped on it for about an hour.
That's so good. Mr. Stark, I don't want to go.
If we're spoiling Avengers Infinity War for you, holy shit, guys. It's nearly a year old now.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix.
So if you haven't seen it by now.
Yeah,
and surely someone else has spoiled it for you.
Yeah. People are assholes. Yeah, go see Captain Marvel. Don't let any of the negative or bullshit that's been surrounding this hold you back. The movie is a hell of a lot of fun. It's well worth all the admission of it. Be only fair warnings, like, it's a little formulaic in the beginning, but after that, like I said, becomes, I would say, probably one of the better origins that they have done in a while. Just, I wish that first half, a little bit tighter writing, a little bit tighter editing here and there. Minor problems, though. Well, at least in my eyes, because trust me, I've seen movies that have far worse issues. Escape Room! Sorry, I don't know what that was. But hey, we'll be back next week. We'll be a little captured and probably a little brain dead. Probably thanks to the roaches.
Can't be as boring as Sicario Day of the Soldado.
Oh, he hasn't seen the third Planet of the Apes movie that they are remaking. Trust me, they're almost on par of boringness. So hey, we'll see y'all next week with Captive State. Oh, good to see Wonder Park instead.
I almost would rather see that.
You say that, and that movie looks also just really dumb and really boring.
How about neither?
I gotta see something. Through there, we can talk about a porn. There we go. We'll film one for y'all. How about that? Babe, we'll see y'all next week with whatever the hell we end up seeing. So, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.